All right. Ready?
We head to the woods to get away from the office.
We have 6 intertidal sites.
But on the beach, just outside of Homer,
We are just heading down the beach.
it's all business.
Yeah, so low tide today is around 9:30.
Brian Yulaski is in collections.
These are believed to have nutritional value.
The marine biology student recruited me to help pick rockweed with him
We're just so efficient.
as part of a project with the University of Alaska Fairbanks.
Crushing it. We harvested 6 of these plots back in May, and today we're going to reharvest 3 of them to see how much they've regrown in the past 2 months.
The goal of this work is to find out if seaweed can be sustainably harvested in South Central Alaska.
So we want to look at, is harvesting detrimental to these local populations, or is harvesting for personal use really kind of this minor thing that we don't need to worry about, therefore influencing management decisions to maybe modify the current regulation that seaweed is illegal to harvest in non-subsistence areas.
Yep, illegal. Probably not something most people think when they think seaweed.
Tastes like heaven, you know?
The restriction first went into effect about 15 years ago, when the Department of Fish and Game says there was a perceived overharvest of rockweed in Seward.
Everybody was like, whoa, we've got to do something about this, and proposals went before the Board of Fish, and that was when the regulations were put in place restricting the harvest of kelp.
That's Glenn Hollowell.
I manage commercial fisheries and subsistence fisheries here.
He says seaweed provides shelter and food for a lot of animals in Cook Inlet. Fish and Game is lacking information needed to really manage seaweed harvesting, which is where UAF's College of Fisheries and Ocean Sciences comes in.
It could potentially tell us what could be sustainably harvested and what we might want to not harvest or only harvest at very low levels.
Beaches such as this one could become popular places to collect seaweed, according to Yulaski.
This one looks
Almost there.
almost there.
This summer, he's working to collect data
So that's that one.
as to when seaweed are reproductive in Alaska, the size most seaweed become reproductive,
Yeah, let's start with this one.
plus this one doesn't look too crazy,
It doesn't look too crazy.
how much can be harvested while still sustaining local populations, and the rebound rates. From here, Yulaski gets on a boat and takes all the seaweed he's collected from sites around Kachemak Bay to a laboratory near Seldovia.
So welcome to the wet lab.
This is where he really digs into the science, sifting through samples and looking for answers.
Harvesting for local Alaskans is part of a lifestyle up here. So if we can contribute to making regulations that are kind of on par with the community's interests, I think that would be a really good thing.
Aquatic plants aren't a big part of Alaska mariculture just yet.
Since the impacts of harvesting are generally unknown.
But with more research, perhaps more people will turn to the sea and its weeds as a new frontier. For Harvesting Alaska, I'm Shannon Ballard.